Okay, good morning, JCIP. It's 3:14 a.m. in the morning. It's the second module of the Basics of Debate. This is to aid you guys for the upcoming JCI Philippines National Debate Championships. What we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss the manual which you have in your respective LO circulars, which you will have access to. So we'll start with the basics. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna we're gonna screen share the actual manual, and we're gonna explain comprehensively what's gonna be. So, okay. Okay. Nakita na yan. Okay, so this is the actual manual for the debate. Okay, so we're gonna discuss the basics of parliamentary debate. Let's start first with the introduction. So what is parliamentary debate? Pwede natin to i-zoom. Okay. Well, basically, parliamentary debate is a form of argumentation where the winner usually is the most effective team that persuades the adj or the judge. While there are a lot of debate formats in the world, the parliamentary debate format is the most used and the recognized debate format in the world. This is the official format of the World Universities Debate Championships, as well as the regional championships in Asia. So this is what we use. No? So in this manual, we're going to focus on one format, which is the Asia's parliamentary debate format. And below, you're seeing the diagram of an Asian's parliamentary round. So obviously, you're going to have two sides: the affirmative and the negative side. Are we going to include the reply speech? Yeah, okay. So you have two sides, the affirmative and the negative, or the pro and the con. On the actual debate, what you're going to hear are what we call government, which is the pro, and the opposition, which is the negative, okay, or the con. Okay, we have three speakers per side, but you will see here that you have four speakers. That would mean that one of the first two speakers will repeat speaking, but in a lesser time allotment. Okay, so let's start with the prime minister. So it will be the first speaker will be the prime minister, followed by the leader of the opposition. Okay, so it's just like a volleyball game where the ball would usually go back and forth. Then after that, the deputy prime minister, followed by the deputy leader of the opposition, and the rebuttal or the whip or the government whip or the affirmative whip, followed by the negative or the opposition whip. Okay, there are two sides again. The first side obviously will defend the motion or the topic to be debated upon. So for example, in the motion that this House would legalize prostitution, the government side will defend the legalization of the prostitution of prostitution. The opposition would oppose the motion. Okay? So each side is composed of three members per side. In the government side, you have the team composed of the prime minister, the deputy prime minister, and the government whip. Okay. On the opposition side, it's composed of the leader of the opposition, the deputy leader of the opposition, and the opposition whip. So these are the general rules of the actual debate round. Speeches in general are 7 minutes in duration. In the championships, it will be a 5-minute speech. You will hear one clap, so it will sound like this. One clap after the first minute, and another clap on the 5th minute. That would sorry, the 4th minute. Okay, that means that the first minute and the last minute is protected time, where points of information cannot be accepted nor given anymore. Okay. Okay. Usually say Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, to address the chief adjudicator or the speakers inside the debate. The points of information which will be discussed comprehensively later, what it's for, what it is, can only be 15 minutes long. And sorry, for 15 seconds long. Okay, so it's 3 a.m. We're all sleepy. Okay. Generally, speakers must observe parliamentary language. There's this basic ethics. You cannot use bad or foul language. Okay. All right. A rebuttal, which is what will be discussed later by LA or Dino. Is vital in any debate speech. Any argument in general that is left unchallenged is allowed to stand. And any argument that is allowed to stand will usually be a point for the team that actually deliver that particular argument. Most often, in the debate, rebuttals can also be rebutted. Okay, so ito yung kita dyan. Okay, so any argument must be backed up and given logical conclusions for. Remember that the debate is not oratory. It's not a declamation speech. It is usually a formalized argumentation, which means that you need to analyze and substantiate all of the arguments that you present. You cannot just give out banner statements. Like, for example, prostitution must be legalized because we protect the health of the women, because we're going to give them like health licenses and health monthly health checkups. You need to explain why that is important. You need to explain what is the importance. Second, how you're going to do it, and it's very, very important for you to know that you have to explain all of the arguments as much as possible. Okay, actually, you need to. Hindi pala as much as possible. It is required that you explain it. Usually, arguments are more persuasive if there are examples given to ground your claim. For example, an example will be the clearest picture of what you want to say. Like, for example, in this case of prostitution, you might want to give the example of Amsterdam or Thailand, where it is a legalized industry. So you can use that as an analogy to back up why and how you're going to legalize prostitution, for example, in the Philippines. Okay. Humor can also be very, very effective. It is personally, I'm not a funny speaker, but Ellie is. Dino is not. But for funny speakers, you usually find them in international tournaments. But funny speakers are adds wit. And the humor, I don't know what it gives you, but it gives you effectivity in delivering all your speech, especially in the rebuttals part. Okay. Ay ba to? 7-minute speech. Ano to? Okay. So let's talk about the 7-minute speech. The 5-minute speech pala. Okay, yung 5-minute speech. But usually kasi sa mga tournaments, it's usually 7 minutes. Okay. Okay. So let's say it's a 5-minute speech. Usually, for novice debaters, it's hard to complete the whole speech. But try your best to do so, because especially when you're given 5 minutes, this is a good time for you to really explain your arguments. In one speech, it is encouraged that you have 2 arguments, and if you explain both of those arguments comprehensively, 5 minutes is actually really a short time for you to explain one speech. The first and last minute of the 5-minute speech, again, are protected time, where the speaker can go on without being interrupted from the opposing team through POIs. So quick question is, let's jump to this. What are points of information? Okay, points of information are 15-second interjectory comments. Like, for example, you give it to it is given by by the opposing team. It is given to the person who is speaking currently. For example, if I'm speaking, and LA, for example, he stood up. Sabi natin. Hindi naman nakita. Oh, sabi natin, pakita natin kunyari. Oh, yan. Hi guys. Oh. Screen share lang ba yan? Sorry. Medyo... Okay, so narinig yung tawa nila. So they're all here. They're waiting for their turns. Okay, so let's say I'm speaking, blah, blah, blah. Then go, LA. Point, sir. Point, sir. Let's say this is within the first and the fourth minute. Okay, sorry, second and fourth minute. It is my prerogative to accept his request for POI. So I can say no, sit down, or no, you may not, or you may remain standing. Or I can accept the point of information for 15 seconds only. Okay, so after the 15 seconds, if you go over time, the adjudicator will call that it's you're out of order. Okay, so the question is, why do we give out POIs? The first thing is for clarification. There are certain speeches or arguments that need to be clarified for it to be rebutted properly. The second purpose would be it is a response to a point being made. So it can be a 15-second rebuttal that will be explained in your speech later on. The third is can be an introduction to a point that will be made later, but a fourth strategy would be to actually distract the speaker that is currently speaking. Okay, so POIs I think it's an exclusive feature of the parliamentary debate format, because in other debate formats you cannot use this, but it makes the parliamentary format more engaging and exciting, actually. Okay. Okay. So points formation, POIs are done. Let's talk about the reply speech. Okay. The reply speech is usually it is a speech to summarize the case line of the whole bench, or of the whole opposition, or of the whole government bench. Okay. Reply speeches in this particular tournament will be given 3 minutes. They will be given 3 minutes. But in a reply speech, no one can offer a point of information anymore. Okay, so it is sometimes called a bias adjudication. It usually goes like you have certain criteria as to why this debate should be judged that way, and why you won that specific issue. Okay, but basically, reply speeches are just an adjudication given by the team summarizing the debate. Okay. Okay. So I think that has been my part. That's been the basic format of the debate. So hope you enjoyed that. Thank you. The next.